Everybody, welcome to another WIP Wednesday. I'm Liz Ferry.
Hey guys, I'm Joey.
Um, we're a little bit closer to our faces this time because we're still kind of getting used to
Yeah,
our setup at the
testing
moment.
out the new setup. You can see a bit
Then-
more of our actual house behind us.
Yeah, you can see some of our tapestries in the background. Some of you might recognize one of them from my curtain tutorial. So we're going to have a little bit of a short WIP Wednesday this week because, as you might know, we've been doing WIP Wednesdays every single week for the month of March for National Knitting and Crochet Month. So you can catch us again next Wednesday at 9. What am I going to do first?
What first? What first?
And also, these videos are going to be available for the public. For the public. No, I mean,
People at large.
Well, I mean, usually I don't show you guys the full version of the video unless you're on Patreon. But for this month's streams, it's just easier for me to like let them go public right after instead of doing an edited down version of the stream, because it's like a lot of work to edit down everything. So I'm just going to save on that extra work so that I can just work on more extra tutorials this month. So, was there anything else I needed to tell you guys? I don't think so. So let's get on with
the WIP Wednesday.
WIP Wednesday.
Thank you for showing up, whether you're here live or in the archives.
So, if you guys, oh wait, that's right. Instagram was off today. It was not working for me today. So I didn't get to show you guys this. I tried to show you, but But if you're not already following me on Instagram, by the way, you can follow me on Instagram at Liz Ferry. So here's what I've been working on. You guys might recognize this bunny girl from last week, but now she has a wig. It's really, really big right now. This is not what the final wig will look like, so don't worry about that. It's obviously a yarn wig. The technique that I use is the same one that I use in my doll wigs tutorial that I have on the channel. It's a whole series of wig tutorials if you want to see my technique that I use for making all of my wigs, pretty much. This one I'm testing out a new technique that I might make a new wig tutorial for. So that'll be interesting to see how that works. But I'm working this wig onto, where even is it? I've put so many hairs on this one. There it is.
So it's deep.
I wanted to get like really good coverage on this, but you can kind of see I worked it onto a mesh, and this is actually the exact same type of thing that I used to make the fishnets for this doll that I showed you guys last week, except I'm using white elastic thread this time instead of black elastic thread, so that it matches her scalp.
Yeah, it blends right in.
Yeah, and I'm the reason I'm doing it this way is just so that I could actually it's kind of notoriously difficult to work wigs around dolls with ears like this. So I'm doing this as kind of a workaround to where I can like pull the wig on and off of her ears easily. And with the way that it stretches around, I can kind of like pull it away from her ears to install each individual yarn piece. Right. So it's been like working pretty well so far. I'm planning on giving her really thick bangs, and that's why she has such huge hair.
Right.
So eventually all of this
totally
will be cut down,
those.
so it won't be as like huge. It'll just be like really thick, and like after the process of like brushing out all of the yarn and everything, it'll like look more like real hair instead of like yarn, how this does.
Right.
I've already started the process of unraveling all of the yarn, and that's the first step toward making this into actual doll hair. So I have to unravel every single individual yarn strand, which does take a long time. I've seen some doll makers that will instead of unraveling each individual strand, they'll get there's 2 different types of grooming brush, and one of them has like really like hard like spread apart bristles or teeth or whatever.
Yeah.
And those ones I think are a lot better at like just unraveling the yarn without it being like brushing it super finely out. So I see some people do that, but it does damage the yarn a lot more than it does to just unravel it with your hands. So I think that I just prefer doing it with my my hands. So
you end up saving more.
Yeah, it preserves a lot more of the length of the hair. It's a lot more meticulous though, and it does take a long time. So I'm not sure. Here, let me turn the light on. Maybe you guys can get a better idea of what the colors look like. I want it to look kind of peachy, And unfortunately, I lost this yellow while I was making this yarn, so I haven't been able to finish it.
We swear there was a ball of it sitting around here somewhere.
Yeah, it's around. Oh, actually, that's right. No, I found it. I found it. That's right. I was looking for something else, and I found it.
So it did turn up. It was lost for like 3 or 4 days, though. Smiley face.
The Phoenix BR says smiley face. Smiley face right back at you, dude. I'm thinking what I'm actually going to do, though, after I was, like, kind of thinking of trying to find a workaround for having lost this yarn, I thought maybe I would, like, find another shade of yellow that's kind of in between this peach color and this yellow color, and kind of, like, take off some of the yellow yarn and, like, kind of spread them out a little more and then replace them with a different shade of yellow so that it kind of has a little bit more color in it, just to kind of blend these colors more into each other. But I don't know if I'll do that. I do have, like, one other shade of yellow that would maybe work for that, but I'm not sure if it would be, like, I think it's not quite the right shade of that color, so I might not use it. But, the reason why I was so into using all these colors together, though, was, I used these colors all for my pearl wig, and I'll show you guys that in a little bit, because I have done a little bit of work on pearl. But, when I made pearl, though, I made it a lot more of a yellow yarn wig instead of the pink, where this one is way more pink. So I just wanted to see kind of what the difference would be if I changed the ratio of the colors to being more pink than yellow. Then
right. So like the same colors but just different.
Yeah, exactly. Different ratios of it.
Yeah. Nice.
So that's one thing that I've been working on with this doll. You can kind of see her wig is actually pinned into the head.
Yeah,
at the
right.
moment.
The few little balls of color.
Yeah. That's one thing that is a little bit challenging about this style of making a yarn, a wig cap, is that because this wig cap is so stretchy, when I'm going to go and brush the hair out, I'm probably going to have to hold down on the foundation of the yarn really hard just to make sure that I don't, like, pull and warp the elastic or anything like that. It's probably strong enough that it won't make that much of a difference, but I'm not going to, like, try to pull on it really, really hard or anything. So, another thing that I worked on this doll was I've started doing a little bit of work on the garters and fishnets. Last time I left this top part unfinished, and I just added this. It's a bunch of rows of single crochet, and then, like, I think I worked some double crochet on top of them just to kind of, like, add some thickness there, because I wanted it to kind of have, like, an elastic band kind of feel. But I do think it would look a lot nicer if I maybe just put some lace, like, on top of this, just to give it, like, more of a decorative look. And I don't really like how, like, there was probably a better way that I could have done it to where it would have been more smooth at the transition between the net and the top elastic.
Right.
But it's not as smooth as I would like it to be, so I think I'm just going to cover it up with some lace. Like, everything looks better if you just cover it up with lace. And I did a little bit more work on the ribbon here, and I think it looks really nice. I actually, like, pulled it. I pulled all of the laces, like, out as far as they could, and I thought about, like, shortening the ribbon so that it looked more like a realistic thing, but I think it looks cuter with it just being super oversized. So I think I am just gonna leave it with huge ribbons draping off her back.
It matches with her big bunny ears.
Yeah, no, you're right. That's funny. I didn't even think about that, but that's true. No, it does, like, really add to the design of the doll. And I love how her little cute face looks. I'm in love with this doll. So, let's go on to the next thing. So this I haven't really done that much work on, but I did a little bit of work on it, so that looks so cute. But you might be able to see it poking up over here, but I have this Yoshi that I've been working on for quite some time, and I just started working on it again, and literally all I did was just add this new arm to it. But I started working on it again because I do tend to make Yoshi things like I use C-clips.
C-clips? I think they're asking about the top.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I meant to talk about that. Like,
yeah,
before we move on to Yoshi, let's go back and talk about
that.
Okay.
Because that was kind of a...
Yeah, that was something
an
that
epiphany
I
a bit. That
yeah, these C-clips that I have on here, I'm actually going to use them to just, like, tie the garter up to the corset here. I'm going to, like, have some little, like, ribbons coming off of the corset. And then I think I'm just going to sew the C-clips onto the tops of the or the bottoms of the ribbons so that they can just loop onto the garter.
Yeah, so like little garter straps.
Yeah, because I have this thing where I just have to have all of my doll's clothes be removable. I don't have to do it, but I have to do it. So like,
right.
So I was
kind
just
of a philosophical stance.
Yeah, exactly.
Where,
it's not like something that I really have to do, but it's just I just feel that I have to do it. So the reason why I put these clips on is because I couldn't really it took me a while to come to this conclusion because I just didn't know what I was even going to use. We went to Joann's and looked at fixtures,
thinking
just
of different random things,
just
so we
different
might be able to use
fasteners.
for,
yeah. But I couldn't really think of anything that would work on this scale, and I just came across these when we were rearranging some stuff in the studio that we've been building, and I just came across these while we were putting stuff away, and I was like, oh, you know what? I wasn't even going to like use these for anything.
Yeah,
they just came with some rubber bands that I bought because they're supposed to be to clip rubber bands together, I guess. But I mean, that's kind of what I'm doing with them. So
yeah, so that's what we're using as or you're using as garter.
Yeah, just to clip the garters to the garter belt. So yeah, I'm pretty excited for how that's going to work. Yeah. I still have a million ends to sew in.
But thank you for bringing that up. Come on.
Yeah, thank you about that because I forgot.
I
forgot to bring that up. Thank you. Okay, so let me show you guys this Yoshi, and I have the arm tied on at the moment, which is generally what I do when I finish when I finish making an arm, but I haven't yet sewn it on. Where's the end? Where's the end? Oh no, Yoshi. Oh. Well, anyway, the reason why I started where is it? Why I started making this Yoshi is because I usually make Yoshis in the Easter time because I just like making Yoshi babies and Yoshi eggs and stuff because they have a very Easter vibe to them, like the color scheme and all that kind of stuff, and also eggs, obviously. But sorry. There's a cup of water right there that I almost knocked over. But anyway, so I just added this arm onto it, and here you can see my armature wire underneath. But let me try to pop that back on there. But hopefully I'll be able to get this Yoshi finished before Easter so that I can try to work on a pattern for it, because I've been meaning to do this for like a year and I just never got around to doing it last year. I think I started this Yoshi for last Easter, and then just with us like looking for a house and getting ready to move and everything, I just never really got around to doing anything with it. Like after I got to a certain point, so it ended up just in a pile of WIPs, like not being worked on for like a half a year. But hopefully now I can get some work
Yoshi's
done on
resurfaced.
it. Yeah, and it's not. I didn't really have that much work left to do on it. Literally, I just had to do the arm and the leg, and now I just have to write down everything that I did and then try to make it again. So I'm thinking about making a pink one next time, but it would be cool to have like a full lineup of all of the different colors, like how I do for my baby Yoshis. Yeah. And then I could do some cool animation stuff with the baby Yoshis and the eggs and the Yoshi adults, and that would be pretty fun. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, because I love your animation stuff that you've been doing.
Yeah, recently. I've been doing a lot more animation stuff lately, and some of the videos that are out have a little bit, but yeah, I've been trying to do some more animation stuff with generally with my videos, but also like I've been kind of like just playing with the dolls and making animations with them. I'm gonna take a little
playing
Starbucks
with your
break.
dolls.
I know, right? Sorry guys, I have to drink my Starbucks before it gets cold.
Right.
So
what's the point of it being hot chocolate?
Yeah, I know. By the time I get to it, it's cold chocolate. So let's put Yoshi here to hang out with the bunny girl. They're both Easter themed, I guess. So I guess that those are things that I do tend to do during the Easter time, is just random bunny themed stuff and Yoshi's. So, if you guys have been following our WIP Wednesdays for a while, you may have seen my Crystal Gems dolls. And I mentioned the Pearl earlier. I'm going to show you her in a minute. But, I've done a little bit of work on Pearl and a tiny bit of work on Amethyst, but something that I have been working on, I'm not even sure if I've shown it on the channel yet, but I started working on, yeah, I think this one's new. I started working on Connie. She's like almost complete. I literally just have to do her arm and then I can start working on her outfit. I'm not sure which outfit I want to make for her because there's so many, but
yeah, she does go through quite a bit.
Yeah,
a few outfit changes.
That's one of the things I freaking love about Steven Universe too, is like how diverse the characters, like costumes and designs are, and just the fact that they don't always look exactly the same every single time. Yeah, because with a lot of cartoons, like you get that whole thing, but like in Steven Universe, a lot of the costumes are just like, I don't know. It's just great, like great character design.
Yeah, you can kind of tell what era of Steven Universe it's in based on the outfit that they have.
It's trippy how much darker she looks on this camera than she does on this camera. But yeah, this camera, it has a harder time seeing like darker colors.
Yeah, it seems to so, yeah, black it out a little bit more.
Yeah, it does. It does. That's one of the reasons why it's harder for me to work with darker colors when I'm like making tutorials, and it's just unfortunate.
Come on, he's asking for Sailor Moon doll tutorials.
That's something that I've been meaning to do. Cute. I kind of just like you guys might like find this shocking, but I actually haven't watched Sailor Moon yet. So like it's one of the reasons why like I do tend to, when I have seen like maybe 2 episodes of it,
you've seen a couple,
but like I haven't watched it.
It's not like you've never heard of it or don't know what it is.
Well, yeah, I know. Yeah, I mean everybody knows what Sailor Moon is, but or most people anyway. Everybody on the internet knows what Sailor Moon is, but yeah, usually when I make a doll, I'll like binge watch whatever it's from for a while just to kind of like get inspired and like work on designing the characters and trying to make them look true to the design of the characters from whatever thing, but also in my own way kind of. But it's just, I guess it's less comfortable for me to work on something from something that I'm not as familiar with.
Totally.
So like
you want to feel a little bit more invested in the character that you're creating, kind of.
And then there's also the fact that like I do tend to like keep most of the dolls that I make, so like it's nicer to make dolls from things that I'm like really like a fan of. Not that I don't like Sailor Moon, like I love the aesthetic and I would love to watch it, and I've always meant to. I just haven't had the time.
Something we're going to binge.
Yeah, it's one of those series though where it's kind of like a commitment to that you have to make. You have to make that time commitment because it's like kind of a long.
Yeah, there's so many things that we'd love to catch up and watch that we haven't had the time to yet. But it's just that's the thing. It's like we haven't had the time. So
yeah. So once I get into watching the series, I will most likely make a Sailor Moon doll series.
It'll probably be inevitable.
Yeah, I probably
especially
won't be able to
because of the Barbie body type.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm like gonna have to write that down because that's something that I thought of while I was working on that doll. Like, is that would be like the perfect doll to make those types of characters, and also with like Pearl, like too, like the body type that she is. It's kind of a similar like
the tall, slim, kind of lanky, slender body type.
But yeah, I'm excited to see how this body type looks on in like the clothes that I make for her. I'm thinking about making her like her Battle Connie outfit because I just love the way the Battle Connie looks, and it would be cool to like make her a sword too because she's just cool. And Connie is like one of my favorite characters, so I've been wanting to make a really nice Connie doll for a long time. And the last Connie that I made, I just made it with my basic doll body pattern, but I wanted this one to really look like her actual body type and like her age level, because that doll kind of has more of like a little tiny baby child kind of look, more like maybe like 5 to 10 years old kind of look, where she's more like maybe like she's 12 or 13 or something like that. and she's like much more skinny, whereas that doll has more of like a chubby like look.
Right.
So I kind of wanted to make it actually look like her.
Yeah, no, this set that you've been making has been a lot more
realistic
looking.
The first set that I made, I don't know if you guys have seen my Crystal Gems dolls video, but the first set that I made, the dolls were kind of more generic, I guess. Right. They kind of were all more or less the same shape and the same
like the chibi
size.
Style a little bit, or
yeah, I guess. I think they like were less detailed, I guess. But this series is coming out really nice, and I'm into it. So yeah, I'm thinking Battle Connie, but I also kind of like some of her like her dressy looks and her casual like t-shirt looks. Like I want to make a ton of outfits for all of these dolls, and that's the other appeal to having them like with removable and like changeable clothes.
Then you can actually make a different outfit and be able to change it out.
And that's another reason why I've been making dolls with wigs too, because it does make it a lot easier to be able to change their outfits. Right. So, on that note, let's have a look at. Let me do this one first because I've done practically nothing to her. She's wearing her half finished pants that I'm in the middle of making, and pretty much
that's with your pants down.
They're not down. They're just partially formed.
You just covered them back up.
Well, they weren't down. They were just kind of flapping a bit.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I'm making them a little bit tight on her because I do want to kind of preserve the shape of her body. So I'm like, they might have like a little bit of sheerness to them maybe eventually. Here, let me show you guys closer. But yeah, I'm just planning on, I'm just planning on bringing it down to the knee and then doing a couple of like color changes to get the gray star shape on her knee, and then just bringing it all the way down and then making her some like gray shoes to like finish up the look. I'm not actually sure if the patches on her knees are rips that show like long gray boots or if they're colored patches on her knees. It's hard to tell. And it kind of, I guess, doesn't really matter because either way would look exactly the same. Totally. And it would just be easier on me to make them that way. So I'm just going to do colorful patches on her legs that are just in a charcoal gray. And the reason why I stopped making her pants here is because I literally just ran out of this type of yarn. I have to, like, make some more.
Need to go on a yarn run?
Well, I have the yarn. I just have to, this is actually Red Heart that I've split up in half. This is one of my techniques that I use for making doll clothes because it makes the doll clothes a lot smaller and thinner and have more drape and be able to like keep the shape of the doll without adding like a big layer of bulk to the doll. So I just don't have any more split up black yarn. I just have to split up some more black yarn.
Right.
And it's kind of a pain in the butt to do it. So I have not done it. Right. And real quick, let me just show you guys. Let me just show you guys her hair because it's super cute. Because this is what the wigs that I make end up looking like after I'm finished brushing them out. So they look a little bit more like a realistic hair. And hopefully that is the effect that I'll get with my Bunny Girls wig, except with like peachy golden pink tones. And I'm really excited about that. Yeah. And when I show you the Pearl in a minute, she has similar colors in her hair. And in fact, I think it's exactly the same colors in her hair. Yeah. It's just one with more yellow.
Right. Yeah,
and this is also, by the way, it is a wig. So.
Well done with this. But yeah, it's always interesting and kind of a gamble when you blend and brush all the colors together because it's
just hard it's going. You don't really have as much control. Well, you do a little bit.
Well, it's hard just to tell exactly. What the final shade is going to be.
I have I've actually made sample wefts of yarn just to make sure that I knew exactly what it was going to look like. But again, it was like kind of a pain in the butt to do because you have to, you basically have to take all of the yarns that you have. That you want to work with and then split all of them up into like their individual strands, kind of like what I do like I just showed you to make the doll clothes, and you have to split it up and then kind of like layer it exactly how you want it to be and kind of just test out different combinations.
Right.
And then when you make the wig, you can use the exact same ratios of individual strands of hair to get the exact color. That's what I ended up doing when I made Pearl, because she has a very, very particular hair color.
Right.
And also with Amethyst, I did that with Amethyst too, just to get like the perfect balance of like silvery notes to like platinum notes to lavender notes. And with Pearl, here she is. You can't very well see her because
right.
she's just
the glare is just.
She's so luminous.
I know, right?
But her hair is a very particular shade, so I did use a lot of different colors to kind of blend them together and get the shade that I wanted. And it's mostly yellow, but there's a lot of like peachy tones and a little bit of like different shades of yellow, kind of.
Right. Yeah, no, I love the pink that's shown in there.
Yeah, because it's really hard to find the exact shade that I want for hair colors sometimes. And I do sometimes have to blend the colors. Oh yeah, and also for this Pearl, I did give her a little nose.
Yeah.
I
Pearl's
forgot
got such a
exactly
nose.
how I did it, but I kind of remember how I did it, so maybe I'll be able to write it down. But the first Pearl that I made didn't have a nose. I just made her with like a flat face, like how I did all the other dolls.
Right, because that's the style.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think I tried to give her a nose and it did not come out so good. It just didn't look right to me. So I gave up, and this time I was like, I'm gonna make a cute Pearl with a cute Pearl nose. Well, this is silly, but I actually there was I can't remember who it was. Was it like, what's her name, Madame Small Wrists or somebody like that? Maybe it wasn't her. I need to like look this up. Actually, I shouldn't shout out somebody if I don't know who did it. But somebody that I follow on Tumblr, I can't remember who it was right now, but they made an excellent Pearl, and she had a beautiful nose, and it just made me like want to make that Pearl
Right.
that I wanted to make all that time ago with the cute nose. And I think I did a pretty good job of it.
Yeah.
Like, I think she looks pretty cute with her little nose. And like with the style of the doll. Her hair's a little messy. I need to straighten it again and curl it again. She's kind of been sitting in a box for a while, so her hair does get a little messed up. I have like a box of wigs somewhere, but I don't want to take Pearl's wig off just because like it's more of like
that was
a particular hairstyle, so I don't want it to get crushed.
That was a tough wig to get the shape of.
Yeah. I don't think, maybe I showed how, I don't know if I showed this particular wig, but I think I showed a similar wig in my wig series tutorial. But eventually I do want to make videos for each of these gem dolls and show how I did everything kind of like, just like sped up, I guess, kind of, just to show you guys like every step that I took, and maybe like reference some of the tutorials that I use, because things like this this shirt that she's wearing and these shorts, which by the way I have done a little bit of work on too, so I should show you guys that. But her shirt and her shorts are kind of just the same exact technique as the doll shirt and doll pants tutorials that I already have on the channel. I just did like with the shorts, I made them shorter obviously, and I like made them more match Pearl's proportions. So like they just like fit her. And then the shirt, I just added a circle skirt to the bottom of it to give it this little flare out. And the star on her chest, I just did a couple of color changes here, and then I fine-tuned the shape with embroidery. Yeah. And it came out pretty nice, I think.
Yeah, that does look really nice.
And I did start out, let me see, it's in here, right? That random, I made a pair of, this was like the prototype for Pearl's shorts, and these do fit her, but they are made with the unsplit up yarn, so I can show you guys the difference that it makes. Like, you can see how much bulk this adds to the doll. It's like maybe a millimeter or two, but if I, here, let me pull this off over here. Let's not undress Pearl on camera.
Yeah, right.
So, and then also this pair of shorts, I made the prototype in this color, but then I'm glad I did, because I was going to make the final shorts in this color, but they turned out to not be the right color. This is the color that I used for the little star, but it turns out her shorts are a brighter shade of yellow. The star is more desaturated. So I started out with using the desaturated yellow, but then I found out that it just didn't look right. But I just figured I might as well continue making the prototype in desaturated yellow.
Yeah, that almost matches her skin tone. Like, or it's close to.
Yeah, no, it's way, way less saturated. So, that adds a lot more bulk. It looks like she's wearing some baggy beach shorts.
Yeah, right. Serious.
Or like some cargo shorts or something, like, because they're just so thick. They add like a couple of millimeters to the body. So yeah, it's not quite the right color, and it's a little bit big. All of the clothes is open at the back, as you can see, because it's pretty tough to get clothes on dolls when it's this small. When it's like really slim clothes, like how Pearl wears, because Pearl is quite small.
Yeah.
She's like super, super skinny. But, just because I'm going to show you guys the bodies, though, of the Pearl and Amethyst, and then I'll show you guys the Garnet, just because she's here, and it feels weird to show you the Pearl and the Amethyst without showing you the Garnet, even though I haven't worked on her yet. Like, I've been meaning to work on her. She's been sitting in the WIP basket with the others, but I haven't just not had time to work on her as well. It has only been a week since the last WIP Wednesday, but, she's probably still too luminous for you to see too much detail, but here's what she looks like.
Glorious,
underneath.
shining body.
Yeah, she's very, very shiny in this light. So let me show you guys her on the other camera. I love how her gem looks. Like, I really love the way that I was able to get the gems to be set into their heads.
Yeah, no, that
or
looks
not
really
their
nice.
heads, but, you know, for Pearl, it's her head.
Yeah.
But, and then also the shaping of the body, it makes a huge difference if you shape the body with thread after making the doll.
Yeah,
you can
seriously.
see some of the stitching right there that I used to shape her. But oops, she punched the camera. She was like, "Back off, man."
She's already trying to attack.
Well, I mean, we were just looking at her butt, so I mean, you know, she's within her rights.
Right, it's proper response from
yeah,
Pearl.
totally. So, and this is a wig too, but I don't really want to take her wig off because it's like, it's kind of annoying to get it back on without messing up the curls.
Right.
So I'm just gonna leave it so that I don't mess up her hair any more than it already is. But yeah, so there's Pearl. Let me show you guys the Amethyst without her half a shorts on. I already showed you guys the I already showed you guys the Connie, but maybe it would be better to show her on the other camera just because it's less dark. Maybe I'll like make it full screen and show it bigger. So yeah, there's the Amethyst. Again, it makes a huge difference to shape the body with yarn. And again, the gem, I love how it looks like just inset into her body like that. It looks so cool. And I did use like a fake, I don't actually know if this is a fake amethyst or not, but it is like a purple quartz like bead thing. Right. It might be fake. It might be like a glass bead or something maybe. I'm not actually sure if it is in fact a rock or not, but it looks like one. So I just like think it adds a lot to the design of the character, I guess.
Yeah, I think definitely whenever you add different media or have multimedia, it just adds so much more dimension to it. So just the texture of the stone versus the yarn makes it really, really pop.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, and let me show you guys Connie on the other camera just because it's easier for you to see her that way. What is that? Oh, that's Amethyst shorts. Let's put that back. So she's got a couple of pins in her head. I forgot about that. But, so let me frame her up here. But yeah, I have not actually done any of the stitching on her body yet, so you can see how she's a lot less detailed on the body. It's just kind of like roughly shaped that way. I think I made her chest like a little, like her shoulders a little too wide. Right. So I think I might actually, I made the arms a little smaller on purpose so that I can just sew those slightly like closed kind of just cut off some of that space, because I did make her shoulders too big kind of by accident. But this is the first time I've ever made this body type, and I don't think Connie doesn't really like. Connie does kind of have substantial enough shoulders, so it's not really like inaccurate to the character. And when I do the stitching, I think that I will probably kind of like draw the stitches of her neck a little closer together, just to kind of make her neck skinnier, because I probably should have made her neck skinnier. Like, her neck is actually like wider than her legs and her arms, so it's a little bit funny, like, for it to be that wide, and it just looks a little odd. So I think I might reshape that when I do the stitching. And now let me show you guys Garnet. Let me show you guys her on the bigger camera too, because she is a little bit large. So I did reshape her body with thread or with sewing already. I used the same type of yarn for the sewing, like as I make the doll with, so that you can see, or so that you can't see the stitching. But yeah, I'm pretty excited about the Garnet, because she's got, like, I gave her a pretty strong skeleton, and because of the shape of her body, it just looks so like trippy to see it like support her in that, like, I don't know, just in when you move her body into that shape, like, and it still like keeps the body in that position. It just looks really trippy, just because of how like narrow that point is, I guess. Like, this would be another good body type to do a tutorial for. Like, there's a lot of people, like, or a lot of characters that have this body type.
Yeah, it's such like a bombshell pinup.
Yeah, like something like that comes to mind. Like freaking like Jessica Rabbit or something like that.
No, for real,
like,
that would be good.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that I could probably do with this design. And like, and also I love like how the thickness of her like thighs, like, and her hips compared to the like the narrow waist, and also like the stitching that I did at her back that like gives her this line down her back. It just looks really, really nice. I think that the stitching makes a huge difference, and I also think it adds a little bit of strength to the doll as well for it to be stitched that way. It kind of like reinforces the body a little bit in certain places. Yeah. So I think it's just generally kind of a good thing to do. And her feet came out cute too. And I have her gems pinned in place, so they're going to be sewn in eventually. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys the Garnet, even though I haven't done any work on it. And then there's just one last thing that I've done a little bit of work on, and that is this Princess Carolyn doll. I started working on her leg. Here's her face, so you can kind of see.
So you can see it's Princess Carolyn.
That it's her. I need to do a little more work on her face. I haven't lined this eye on this side. You can kind of see this one pops a lot more because it has more eyeliner on it and mascara. She kind of has a little tiny bit of liner on the other eye, but mostly it's on this one. So let me show you guys that on the other camera. So yeah, I started working on this one a few months ago too, and I haven't really touched it for a while, but I've been working on these bunny girls and cat girls. If you guys watched the last episode, you might have seen those. So it just kind of made me want to pull her out and start working on her at the same time, because she's also a cat girl. Yeah. She's technically like the first one that I started making, because like I started making her a while back, and then I kind of just wanted to make a bunny girl, so I started working on that. And I ran out of yarn, so so I had to stop working on her.
It seems to happen quite a bit.
Yeah, it does. It's because I work with scraps a lot of the time, and I'll just run out of one particular color in that scrap that I'm working with, because I do like to use up scraps for amigurumi. It looks really cool though, like the stitching on the face. Yeah, like it looks pretty good. Real.
That does look really nice.
But yeah, once her other eye is done, like I think it'll look a lot nicer, and then I can start adding her ears. I'm not sure if I want to fluff her like I was fluffing my like I fluffed my bunny, right? Because I don't want to like do anything that would destroy the face or anything.
Serious.
But I don't know. She would maybe look cuter if I fluffed her, and if I did it really carefully, I might be able to do it without damaging the face. But again, like, it's risky.
It's gonna be tough. Yeah, I'm serious.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll see. When I finish making her body, I will come to a decision. So that's the last WIP that we have to show you guys this time. So I hope that you enjoyed this episode of WIP Wednesday.
Yeah, thanks for everyone that showed up either live or that came to watch us on the archive.
In the archive. And thank you for all of your messages in the chat. And if you enjoyed these WIPs, make sure that you like the video because apparently that's important now. And,
so make sure you're satisfied with our content.
Seriously.
YouTube wants to know, so please
like
our
the videos.
It helps a lot. Please.
But so we'll see you guys next week at the same time at 9. We've been doing these a lot later just because of Joey's work. So hopefully you guys are willing to deal with that and are up at the time that we're doing this.
Happy if you catch us live. If not,
and if not, you can always watch us in the archive for this month's WIP Wednesdays. And then once we start doing bi-weekly WIP Wednesdays again, I'll probably start doing highlights again. And but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Maybe the format will change. I mean, a lot of things have been changing lately. We're in a new place. We're still getting the studio set up. I mean,
hopefully that studio will be happening soon.
We're getting very, very close to 10,000 subscribers, which is a huge milestone for us.
That's true. We're getting pretty close. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe, and maybe you will get us
subscribe,
that
share.
much
Thank
closer
you so much for all the support.
Thanks so much, you guys. So we'll see you guys next week at 9 on Wednesday for the next episode of WIP Wednesday. So bye, you guys.
Bye, guys.